Hey everybody, this is David from New Blog Hosting. I wanted to start these videos as an opportunity to help the blogging community, whether you work with us or not. We hope that you do. You can find us at newbloghosting.com. But I kind of wanted to start a series of videos here where we talk about the things that bloggers have to work with, should be working with, things bloggers should know, and to be frank, things that other blog hosts just aren't going to tell you. And you just don't learn some of these things without being told. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about is blog security. Blog security is really one of the top things going on in the industry right now, and as you see with the Facebook hacks, the retail store hacks, it's only getting worse, and I suspect that it's going to get worse. And unfortunately, a lot of bloggers don't think about it until it's too late, until you get up that morning and your blog's redirected or showing inappropriate content or something crazy is going on. You don't think about things like, did I do things to secure my blogs? What else should I have done? Did I back it up? Did my host back it up? Can my host help me? You don't think about those things until you're in that panic state of mind. And, you know, everything you've ever worked for, if your blog makes money or even if it doesn't, is gone. And I'm going to go over a few things that you as a blogger can do to help yourself, and then some things maybe that a good quality host should be doing for you. First, what you should do. One, you should have a strong password. No questions asked. You gotta have it. It's gotta be there. It should not be your kids' names. It should not be something you use for something else. It should be a good, strong password, letters, symbols, certainly not a dictionary word. That is number one. Number two, you should be running some sort of website firewall plugin. The common one, and probably the best one in my opinion, is Wordpress, and I'll stick that down here at the bottom of the video when we get to this point. That's Wordpress, WORDFENCE, Wordpress. And Wordpress comes in a free version that captures a lot of the common blog hacks, and Wordpress also comes in a premium version. The premium version is really strong. I think the premium version starts at $99 a year. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it is. That should be the second thing you're doing. Run some sort of plugin, folks. It's just installing a plugin, activating it. Wordpress pretty much takes care of itself at that point. That'll stop those brute force attacks that we see. It'll stop those cross-site injections. It stops a lot of things. Definitely worth your investment. The third thing you should be doing, you've got your strong password, you've got your plugin, you've got to be backing your website up. And let me tell you, there's a misconception about some of these backup plugins. Do they work? Do they not work? Will they work in the point of a blog crash? And I'm going to tell you, don't bet the farm on one of these blog plugins. I have seen them work. I have seen them fail. And I've been in blog hosting over 20 years. I have seen a little of everything, but I'm not crazy enough to say that I've seen everything. I see something new every day. There are some good ones out there. I'm not telling you don't use them. I'm telling you don't bet the farm on it. And if you are using your own backup solution, you should set up a time to mimic that disaster. Can you restore your website from that solution? And make sure it works. Make sure you can do it. Make sure if you need your host help, your host is aware of it. But do not wait until you're in the line of fire to try out that backup solution that you've been running for the last 2 years and you really don't know if it works or not. This kind of leads us into things a host should do and things you should ask a host. And before I go any further with this, I'm certainly not going to talk bad about any host out there, by no means. I'm not really going to call names on other hosts out there. You're pretty much going to know who I'm talking about. There are hosts out there that are these bigger boxed hosts. Some of you use them. We have migrated from all of them. And what you should be asking them are a couple things. One, do they back your website up? Not do you back it up. Do they? If so, do they restore it? If not, what does it charge? What do they charge you to get it restored? If not, do you need to be paying for some sort of backup? That is number one. Ask your host, do they back your website up? Number two, ask your host, do they run a firewall? If so, is it specific to your site? Is it specific to your server? Ask for a little info here. Make sure that something is in place. And this third one here is something new. Not a lot of hosts are doing it, but it really helps. Some hosts are doing it. Some are doing it at an extra charge. It's what's called a web application firewall, or WAF, W-A-F for short. What that is, it's we'll call it mod security rules, that when traffic comes to your website, it detects what may be malicious, what may be a malicious attempt, and then blocks that attempt accordingly. Mod security rules are a WAF firewall. Cloudflare is a WAF firewall. Security is a WAF firewall. Ask your host, do they have it? There is sometimes an extra charge for these things, but let me tell you folks, it's worth your time. It's worth the charge. I would not be afraid to pay for it. You've got to remember, if your blog is a source of income for you, you've got to do your due diligence in keeping that blog safe. You've got to talk to your host. You've got to be diligent, be willing to ask your host questions. Something to remember. The number one ways that blogs get hacked, one, guessing of the password. They guess, they're in. They do their damage. Number two, outdated plugins, outdated themes. Ultimately, folks, plugins and themes are usually, not always, but usually are written by, somebody in an office somewhere. They're not written by companies per se. And, you really never know what type of security precautions or what kind of type of holes might be in the theme or might be in the plugin. It happens, folks. They have insecurities. You've got to keep them updated. You've got to keep them updated. You've got to keep them updated. If you're not keeping your stuff up to date and you're not backing up like you should and you're not following these processes, you're not going to be prepared when your blog has a problem. And if you have any questions, you can contact me at newbloghosting.com. I'll stick that down below. That's newbloghosting.com. And if you checked out this video, you can use the coupon code SOCIAL and get 20% off. That gets you a year's hosting for $28, folks. You can't beat it. We'll give you that daily backup. We'll give you that hands-on support. And we do have an affiliate program. We'll help you with these issues. If you need anything, you can contact us. We're here. We're happy to help you. Hope you have a good day. We'll see you next time. If you have any suggestions for these videos, I'm open to suggestions. Like I said, this is the first one. If you would subscribe, I would appreciate it. Check the bell icon to be notified when we post things. Hopefully these posts will be regularly, and we'll be streaming live to YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Getting out there and answering some questions for some folks. Look forward to it. Everybody have a good day. If you need us, we're here for you. Take care. Bye-bye.